People have been smoking tobacco for a long time, but it wasn't until fairly recently that scientists discovered that the tobacco in cigarettes, pipes, and cigars can have a powerful effect on the brain and other parts of the body. The reason is that tobacco contains nicotine, a very powerful drug. The nicotine in tobacco smoke is very addictive, which means that once a person smokes on a regular basis, it's extremely hard to stop. Some people are never able to quit, even though they may very much want to. Scientists have discovered that nicotine can be even more addictive than cocaine and heroin, two drugs known to be very addictive. Nicotine changes the chemistry of the brain so that a smoker craves cigarettes. He or she can't feel normal without smoking. Scientists have discovered something else about nicotine. It's a poison. In fact, if a person took the amount of nicotine found in less than 10 packs of cigarettes at one time, he or she would probably die. And there are other dangerous poisons in cigarettes. One is called tar. When a person inhales cigarette smoke, thousands of tiny tar particles enter his or her lungs. When the tar particles cool, they begin to form a sticky substance that coats the lungs. This coating damages the lung's delicate lining. It may also paralyze the millions of tiny hairs in the nose, throat, and lungs, hairs that would otherwise sweep germs, as well as other disease-causing substances, out of the body. That's one reason why smokers usually have more illnesses than non-smokers. The tar in cigarette smoke also can trigger cancer growth. Thousands of smokers die of lung cancer every year. Lungs must expand and contract in order for a person to breathe normally. But when tar, you could think of it as gooey molasses, builds up, another disease called emphysema may prevent full expansion and contraction. So emphysema, which cannot be cured, keeps people from breathing normally, and in severe cases can cause death. The tar in cigarette smoke can cause another lung disease, chronic bronchitis. The airways to the lung get smaller in people with this condition, and they become clogged with mucus. Breathing becomes painful and difficult. By the way, chewing tobacco and snuff, two products just as dangerous as cigarettes, also contain tar. They too can cause cancer on the lips, gums, and tongue, and in the mouth, throat, and windpipe. And to a lot of people, tobacco chewers and snuff dippers look pretty disgusting. It would be bad enough if there were only nicotine and tar in tobacco products, but there's another poison in them whenever they're smoked: carbon monoxide, the same colorless gas that comes out of car exhaust pipes. The carbon monoxide in cigarette smoke winds up in the brain, heart, and blood vessels, where it can do a lot of damage. In the bloodstream, for instance, carbon monoxide, seen in green, takes the place of oxygen, seen in white. But the body needs oxygen to survive. So the heart, the organ that pumps oxygen-rich blood, must work much harder to get enough oxygen to the various parts of the body. In many cases, that extra work puts such a strain on the heart that it beats out of control or simply stops. In other words, the smoker has a heart attack. It's a well-known fact among scientists and doctors that cigarette smokers are much more likely to have heart attacks than non-smokers. In addition to affecting the heart, carbon monoxide affects blood vessels as well. Scientists have discovered that the gas helps build up a fatty substance called cholesterol on blood vessel walls. In time, the cholesterol may completely block the flow of blood, including the oxygen it carries, seen here as white dots. That can cause a heart attack also, or a stroke, a condition in which a portion of the brain dies because it doesn't get enough oxygen. Carbon monoxide in cigarette smoke can affect a person's eyesight, too. Smokers generally do not see at night as well as non-smokers. In addition, cigarettes can reduce a person's alertness to sounds.